Yes, viewers and subscribers, big up on yourself, big up, big up, big up. You don't know the thing, big up on yourself. You have to big up straight and hard, non-stop. Yeah, man, welcome to all the new people to the channel, all the old people to the channel. I'm say old, I mean old in age, but long time supporters to the channel. Big up on yourself and welcome to everybody and manners and respect. Well, I'm going to play a little clip here. But before I play this clip, I must say this. People, we need to open our eyes. We need to open our eyes and we need to be wise and we need to realize and stop criticize. You understand? But we need to open our eyes. So I'm going to make you hear this before I start talking about. Listen this now. If we're not here.
This involves a man who went to, he went to Jamaica. And in the case of this black man, it was deadly that he didn't have this purported proper documentation. This man here, he was turned away from returning to Britain to get a blood transfusion. And as a result, he died. Here's a photo of the man here. His name is Chaz Carl Powell. On March 9th, Mr. Powell was denied access to his British Airways flight at the Montego Bay Airport. He had been spending time with his girlfriend on the island in Jamaica, and the 41-year-old needed to return to England to undergo his regular blood transfusion to treat his sickle cell anemia. But airline officials, well, they said his passport, which you can see the picture of it here, that it was in too poor of shape to validate for international travel. So it was okay to get him there, but not to get him back. Well, Powell sought emergency travel documents at the British consulate, taking a new passport photo, and this is the new picture here. You can see Powell's eyes are yellow. This is one of the visible symptoms of a disease, is severe jaundice, the sickle cell anemia, and the yellowing of skin or the whites of the eyes. That tells you this man was not in a good place, and he needed to get his blood transfusion. Well, Powell also took precautions if there were health problems that arose when he was abroad. According to his mother, she states that he secured emergency funding for a transfusion if it was ever needed, adding that he even scheduled a plan for his return procedure. He had an arrangement for his nurse at King's Hospital. As soon as he landed, he would ring her for an appointment and come in to get his transfusion. And so while he was waiting for his identification to come through, well, the man complained to his girlfriend, Monique Allen, who's 30, about stomach aches and struggling to eat. She took him to the Spanish Town Hospital there in Jamaica, and 3 days after being rejected from his flight, he died. Reports say that the doctors worked on him to no avail, couldn't resuscitate him, and the police categorized his demise as, quote-unquote, sudden death. Now, Powell's mother claims that the man died of apparent organ failure after his health spiraled out of control. And why did it spiral out of control? Well, because British Airways would not allow him back on his flight because it claimed he didn't have proper documentation. Now, British Airways issued this statement about the incident. We're saddened to hear that one of our customers has passed away, and our thoughts are with his friends and family at this difficult time. That's what a release from British Airways read. It says airlines are required by law to ensure that all documents presented for travel are valid. That is so interesting because, again, document was perfectly fine when he came to Jamaica. Just the thought that he'd want to go back to his country became problematic, and even if it meant that he was going to die, and he did die. It just really seems that this whole proper documentation thing, show me your papers, is something that we black people face very often, and this thought that our papers aren't good enough, they're not sufficient, and thus we are being held back. That's something we're seeing over in Poland right now, and we're seeing in a number of southern states when they're passing these voter ID laws. This has been an ongoing trend and something that has been used against us forever. Do we have proper papers? Ravana.
I mean, this is just one of those stories that breaks your heart because this is a man who was prepared for the worst case scenario. This is someone who took his health very seriously. He had these contingency plans in place. He had saved up the money just in case he needed an emergency transfusion. He did everything right. And despite having done everything right, he died. And he was taken too soon. It's extremely unfortunate. And there's just something sinister about the airline calling him a customer. We're so sad that one of our customers has died, because at the end of the day, that's all that he was to them. He was someone who was giving them money and nothing more, but to his mom, to his girlfriend, to the people in his life, he was a lot more than that. And he, his life had meaning, but apparently this airline gets to decide who lives and dies in this case. And it's really sad. It's really gross. Again, it's just one of those stories that breaks your heart.
Absolutely. And also, I've known of various situations where people lose their passport. They lose items while they're abroad, while they're traveling. And I've seen exceptions be made. I've seen people at the airport essentially put you through rigorous questions to ensure that you are from that country and allowing you to return. And here, it definitely seemed like they just turned him around and said, no, we're not letting you on our flight. Too bad. And I'm confident that this man pleaded to them because he needed this blood transfusion. And the thought that just 3 days later, he died. He knew that death was knocking at his door, and I'm confident he pleaded and he did everything he could by going to the British consulate. But he was not allowed back, and as a result, he died. This just speaks to the inhumane nature that we Black, brown people often face when we are just trying to live, just trying to exist. And to know that these kind of documentation things are going on right now as individuals flee Ukraine and the conflict right now that's created by Russia. And then to know that there are people just trying to live in this world who, again, are held to different standards on this documentation thing. It just... it eats me up a lot. Ravana, any last comments?
Yeah, I just want to say that his passport wasn't that messed up. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, his picture was still clear. You could still tell that was him, versus the picture that you showed us from the picture he took at the consulate. It wasn't, I have friends who have flown with their passports in much worse condition than that. Difference is those friends were white. So I think you're exactly spot on with that.
And also, the fact is that the British Airways would have record of that man having come through. Also, their kind of TSA department back there, he would have had a stamp showing his entry. They could have at least checked the footage to show, hey, this was the man who entered around this time or whatnot. Because again, death was knocking at his door. He needed that transfusion. And they denied him the opportunity to live under this purported claim that his documentation wasn't sufficient.
Yes, people. Yes, people. Yes, people. Yes, people. So now you are going. This man left from Jamaica, England. Black man left from England. Go to Jamaica. You go look for his family and thing. This man had a medical condition. And him going to Jamaica wasn't a problem leaving from England. That me can understand. It was not a problem for him going to Jamaica. But coming back, there was a problem. Now, you see, this is what happens sometimes, Sometimes we try to put things in the wrong way, in the wrong context. But we have to look more time and look far too. Sometimes we have to look for a car. Here we go now. The man left from England go to Jamaica, passed through the airport. Now this is what happened. If anybody wish to talk the truth and so, majority of the people that work in the airports in England at British Airways, they are white people. Yeah? They are white people. Majority of them. Or regardless whether they're white or them black. But the man present him passport to them, then stamp it, because to them, they never see nothing wrong with the passport where he couldn't use it. Because if something wrong with it from there, so they would have said, well, the passport is not too right, man. The passport need the update or need the upgrade. Or if there was a immigration problem with the passport, then it will be sorted from there. But they see no problem with it, so them sending through. So the man go to Jamaica. And the man knows him have medical condition and everything for him is all about timing. Yeah? And the time when the man will return back now to England, then that's when them down at Jamaica I say the passport no valid, the passport not turn good, the passport not this, the passport not that, the passport not all kind of something. Them down there couldn't have enough sense for no say, well, if they send him down here with it because he's stamping it, so then send him down here with it. So that means most likely everything alright, we are sending him back with it. But there is a problem. The problem is, I know some people are going to say, well, a white people, they send a white people that and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't take up for nobody. But remember this, I can tell you something. Remember, as I said before, in England at the airport, them British Airways, and so, staff them, whether Heathrow or Gatwick or wherever, in case maybe, majority of the people are white people. If you reverse that now, in Jamaica, at the airport, a lot of the people that work at the airport are black. Yeah, white people work there too, but a lot of the people work there are black. Yeah, black people them. So we might have said, yeah, them turning back and blah 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 blah, but can you imagine say maybe the people them who turn him back as well, and the most white people, it can be a black person as well, yeah. And that's the thing, you know. Who knows? It can be a black person as well turn him back. But regardless of whoever it is that turn him back, they never have enough sense to see say the man come down with the passport, stamp and everything. Yeah? British people, they don't find no problem with it. So you want them to say, the British people, they send him out there. They know say he was going to play number 3. So they don't want him to play number 3 here, because they know say on that date, he might go just lose him breath. And that day, they know. And they never want him to do it here. So then said him go to Jamaica if it happen. No go so. I don't think that's how you go. All it was that British people at the airport never seen nothing wrong with the passport. The passport could still be used, or it's usable. But coming from Jamaica back to England, it can't use. What kind of madness that, man? What kind of madness that? And yet, them same people, boy, you see them people are dangerous, you know? Them people are dangerous. If it was somebody or their friend or one of their links or whoever I come through with some cocoa or some good herbs and so, passport, whether a passport was good yes or no, they don't care. You understand? But this then them cause the man fi dead. Them cause the man fi play 3. You understand me? But me know say it's gonna be a you volley pala you quick for jump on this case because them right away them say £1 million lawsuit. Them see it right away. So them now have a problem to get a lawyer to deal with this. But the only thing what me say is, it no matter which lawyer them get, and no matter how much millions them get, that cannot replace the life of someone. It can't. It go far beyond that. Far beyond that. And everything money can pay for. And one of the main things money can pay for is life. And in this case, that is the case. That is the case. Trust me. That is the case. Me don't wonder say if it was a, me not wonder because I know if it was a, say not a black person then, and it was another person. You have 2 colors, but you have more than 2 colors, but for the common color that we use is black and the other one. Yeah? If it was the other person that come through and the passport not turn good, all them do a kid and oh, you look funny, and the passport, oh, this passport is old. Oh, when you go back to Britain, you need to go and renew and get a new passport, sir. Yes, because at some point this one will not be able to be used because the picture is fading and it's not, everything is okay apart from the pictures. But when you go back to UK, please can you go and do what you ever need to do? Yeah. But no. With this man is a different case. Finally see it. Wait, are you this? This don't look like you. Oh, this a picture you look so. And when you take this a picture here, you sure it's for your passport? Me have to check this out, you know, because this don't look like a your passport. What you try? Eh? What you try? And then kind of wear the all kind of something then do. But then I check say the man, England send the man down here with the passport. So all they have to do, stamp the man passport and send the man back. That's all they need to do. You see, ignorance. Ignorance and illiteracy is a big, everlasting piece of something. And trust me, now because you see some people are work at some place, like our airport and immigration, no feel like say they're not ignorant. Don't feel so. And now because you see some people work at some place, no feel like say they're not illiterate. Them is illiterate. Because some people feel say, because they can read and write, them is not illiterate. You have enough illiterate dunce out there. Whole heap of illiterate dunce. May I tell you that? My grandfather always was saying to say, and I will never forget this thing. And when I have dementia, I don't forget it. Because it's just something to remember. My grandfather said, study-ration is better than education. You know what I'm saying? Study-ration is better than education. Yeah, meaning some things no need no education for know say it right or it wrong. Some things no need no qualification for know say it right or it wrong. Some things just need common sense. But then again, common sense is something not common. And that's the problem. That means now because the name common sense, it common and everybody have it. And not so you go. Common sense. Common sense means you can see out of the bracket. Yeah? You don't think in the bracket. You can think out of the bracket. And a lot of people will go a university and college cannot think out of the bracket because they might go by the script. They might go by what they on the paper. They might go by the book. They can't see nothing out of the bracket. So therefore, they don't have no common sense. That's why enough people who have common sense make us some intelligent people look like them a fool and look like them an idiot. Me prove that over and over. Me prove it over and over. Because even though I was a high school student, I left school without qualifications. But at the same time, man ain't no fool. And nobody can come take man for no idiot. No matter how it is. Whether out in the street, whether at work, whether nowhere or anywhere, man can't take man for fool. Because we have common sense. You understand me I say? So, condolences to the family of this young man. And I hope and pray that everything work out fine and goes well in terms of justice. Yeah. I do hope and pray so. Yeah, man. Anyway, my people, as I said, God bless. Don't stress over peace. Remember, no one love, enough love. Anything we do, like we do it good to the best of our ability. My people, remember this. We have to wise up, for rise up. And last but not least, what we have to do? We have to educate, to elevate. So guess what? God.